But
Love
speaking of Texas, Marble Falls and everything.
Okay.
With everybody kind of moving to Texas nowadays, especially the last, I don't know, 3-4 years, you'd say.
For sure.
I mean, there's two of us at this table that aren't originally from Texas.
That's it.
Right? And a lot of people ask us, and probably, a lot of people think, like, why the hell did they move to Texas? There's a lot of stuff, and I'm here to tell y'all, all the positive things you hear about Texas, it's true. There's a lot to do, like we were talking about. There's a lot of places to go camping. There's rodeos. There's a yearly annual rodeo that we attend every year. The last couple of years that we've been here.
Every year.
Yeah, every year the last couple of years.
We've never missed one.
Yeah. But there's just so much to do, man. And it's such a big state. I love it. I personally love it. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I moved here is probably, besides, something new and exciting and everything, is probably the culture, man. There's a big culture here, a big variety of cultures all mixed into one. And like back when I was in the Marine Corps and people would say they're from Texas, I'm like, okay, I know where Texas is.
Here's another one.
Here's another one. I
all
get
right,
it.
cowboy.
Okay.
This guy can't even read.
Yeah. But after being here, or after visiting back in like 2019, that was the first time that Alyssa and I came and visited, and we just fell in love with it. Literally, not even kidding, we can go ask Alyssa right now. When we stepped off the plane and we got out into the park in the garage to pick up our rental car, we took a deep breath and we're like, damn, I don't know why we're feeling this type of way, but it feels like home. We're like, oh my God. So obviously we went the whole weekend, exploring the city of San Antonio, and there's a lot to do in San Antonio. And the culture here itself just kind of big reason too why we picked this spot. But
Resonates with you?
yeah, it does. There's a big,
The
Spanish.
Ortiz,
Yeah.
Ortiz inside.
There's a big Spanish history here.
I can tell you, dude, you fit in better here than Wisconsin, probably.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Don't get me wrong, I like Wisconsin too, but this feels like home, dude. I don't know why. Wisconsin didn't really feel like home. I don't know. Maybe it's the culture thing.
Too many white people.
Okay. I wasn't gonna say it, but
I'll just say it for you.
said it.
Coming from the white guy.
Yeah.
With a little, I got a dash of Mexican in me, okay?
But yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest reason. Obviously,
It's too cold for pigment up there, dude.
way too cold. Yeah, it gets hot here, but I mean, I don't mind the heat.
Yeah, but it's like you bronze down here.
Yeah, you bronze, and you sweat your ass off, which helps you lose weight if you exercise in it.
So far, I have not experienced that. I wish I did.
But a lot of stuff played.
I mean, the humidity does keep your skin nice and moist.
It does.
Yeah, so I don't dry out.
Yeah.
Dude, and the other thing is, it's like, dude, we're 9 hours across from the middle.
Right.
It's like there's so many things to do. Definitely, again, like Marble Falls is great. But I know one place that I want to go, I want to plan it with Rachel, is I want to go out to the McAllen Observatory out in West Texas. But I want to try and plan it on a time that it's going to be pretty clear.
That's out there near Big Bend?
Past that. That's way out there.
Is it?
It's
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's all the way down to like El Paso, but it's... Yeah. Figure hop on I-10, just head that way.
Yeah. Just go that way.
Just go.
Yeah, dude, just hop on I-10 and just set, yeah. It's not like, oh man, we got 300 miles. It's like, yeah, brother, you got 10 hours. Get comfortable.
Shit. But yeah, man, I mean, and on top of that, man, it's a big, military city here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Which one of the biggest reasons why I moved here. I wanted to be around people that were like-minded, like I went through some of the same stuff that I did, and you can definitely tell anywhere you go. There's always veterans out there. And you always, you sit at a bar and 9 times out of 10 there's going to be a veteran sitting at the bar with
Just
you.
Clocking haircuts on the way in.
Yeah.
Dude, anything.
I do, man.
Anything this high, it's like, what's up, devil?
Yeah. But yeah, that was the reason. And of course, politics played a big part into it. Wisconsin, we all know, is not, it's just the politics there didn't really align with, my morals and my what kind of
don't ask me don't ask me about the politics where I came from.
Yeah, wasn't as bad as where you came from, but why did you move here, Nick?
Why did I move here?
Yeah,
gosh, so it's really interesting because Brittany and I we always talked about leaving California ever since we were engaged. Our initial plan was to go to Michigan because I have family in Grand Rapids, and we visited there and loved it. Like, it's really cool, and still love it. Like, Grand Rapids is a really neat place. But then, my in-laws were like, you guys can stay in our little attached casita when you guys get married, and rent free, save up money for a house. So we did that, and then we got pregnant with Annabelle, and then it's just you kind of get into life and everything.
Pivot.
Yeah, and
stick and pivot.
Really the big thing that finally drove us out was honestly COVID. Being in California. So at first, no one knew what the fuck was going on with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and we were just kind of complying, if you will, and doing your part, at first, but once things started coming out and they dragged on, especially in California, we kind of grew real tired of it. It was just mask forever. And I remember whether you are, pro-mask, anti-mask, pro-vax, anti-vax, I don't give a shit. Just let me do my thing. If you want to wear it and all that shit, just do what you feel is comfortable for you. But our thing was don't be forcing all this stuff onto other people, when really there wasn't a whole lot of data to really back it up in the end, right? And so
it's I remember a lot of people, especially in California, were upset whenever it was that video came out with Nancy Pelosi just doing her
or
thing.
in Gavin Newsom up at his winery, and he's just having a dinner party, and we're
are you kidding me,
dude? I can't go to the gym, but you can have a party at your winery. That's cool. And so now luckily for us, we lived in Riverside County, which is a pretty conservative county. They do exist in California. We're just always outvoted by the mass number of people who live in San Francisco and Los Angeles and now San Diego too. But I remember our sheriff came out, was we're not gonna, I know the governor gave all these mandates but we're not gonna force them. So you guys just do you. And you're thank you, Chad Bianco. I think that was his name. But anyways, that's beside the point. Now we're off the actual question of why did I move to Texas, but that played a big part, right? So, we eventually were just listen, if we've talked about it, if we're going to do it, now is the perfect time, because Anna wasn't established in school yet, and the kids were still young, where, it would be hard for us as a family, but it's not
it's not like you're uprooting all their friendships.
Yeah, all their friendships, and yes, they love their grandparents and their aunts and uncles and cousins deeply, but at the same time they're so young that they don't really understand exactly what all this distance means. So we thought that now is the time, and also we owned a house, and the housing market was fucking crazy, and so it was we know we could sell. This is a good time to sell too, because we can get what we thought was peak. Turns out wasn't quite the peak yet, but we still got a lot more than I would pay for our old little house. And so, we sold, and but before we sold, we thought, okay, where are we gonna go? Michigan? No, that was kind of out of the question now. We were looking at Tennessee, specifically the Knoxville area. We were looking there. I kind of researched some stuff, but then I remember I seen you, move and be we're moving to San Antonio, or you moved already, and I was tell me about it. And so you told me about it. I researched more, and I was I've always thought great things about Texas. Is any state perfect? No, but Texas is damn near it.
Hell yeah,
it's
brother.
God's country, baby.
It's a daggum republic. Good to go.
All right. And so looking more at it, we're we just kind of talked it over. And here's the kicker. We moved here, okay, without ever visiting. I ain't ever visited San Antonio before. The only parts of Texas I've been to up in the Panhandle, I've been to Amarillo and Lubbock. But never visited San Antonio before. Okay, I'm just going based off what I'm researching and what you were saying, because we didn't know each other at the time, And so, going off that, we were we should just fucking do it. And Brittany looked at me and said, listen, if you can land a job, because obviously we're not going to commit to moving somewhere if we don't got jobs. She's like, if you can get a job, then we'll do it. And I literally applied on like a Wednesday or something, like a Tuesday. I had 3 interviews on a Wednesday because as a special education teacher, like there's always a need. You know, that's one good thing about having that credential. So you know, probably on Tuesday, had like interviews on Wednesday. And at the end of every interview, they were like, do you want the job? And I said, you know, let me think about this. I've never had to mull over offers before.
Yeah.
So kind of like looked over the offers, dude. And then, you know, picked right here.
It was like signing day when you finally picked one.
Yeah.
It was like,
the baseball caps. Yeah. It's like
I am bringing my talents to South Beach, you know. But yeah, so it was like, then we just made it happen, and you know, we decided like we're gonna move, and Brittany's company that she worked for, a physical therapy office, was like super understanding, and they were like, you know, she's like, I don't know if there's a way that I can do my work from home for you guys. I'm not sure. And they're like, definitely. And so we're like, it's just all lined up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I just remember like driving out, because I drove out. Brittany waited behind with the kids for a little while, and then flew out with her mom and the kids a couple days after I got here. And I just remember like driving out. It was emotional, you know, like I cried as I left the driveway, because it's like, you know, you sell your first house. There's a lot of memories, you know, like brought Grant home in that house and stuff. And it's like driving out and then coming out here. And I just remember just like started pulling up, and I'm like, damn, so this is home now, huh?
Oh, shit.
It's just like a weird feeling, because I'm like, you know, I'm like, from like military perspective, you know, you guys have had to move to places that you're unfamiliar with. I haven't really had that except for college. So it's like, where the fuck am I? Like, I'm like, what is H.E.B?
Yeah.
I see these things everywhere. Is there an Albertsons? Dude?
What a burger?
Is there a Vons? Yeah. What a burger.
Vons. I forgot about Vons.
Is there a Stater Bros around
Vons,
here?
Stater Bros, Ralph's. Dude, I'm like, where are the options?
Dude, I will say I used to love Stater Brothers.
It was
Hey, Stater Bros got some deals.
Oh,
But, you know, it's like you move here and you're just like, okay. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting rid of these fucking California plates, dude, because I don't want to be from California no more, okay?
That's when everybody was riding your ass on the highway, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm not one of those. I'm not trying to California or Texas, okay? I'm trying to Texas. I'm trying to keep Texas red, okay? Like, you know, especially during election season, you see people be like, don't fucking, all these Californians coming over here and turning us purple. And I'm like, don't put me in there.
Yeah.
I'm keeping you a little more shade of red, okay? Trust me. Like, and, you know, that's another thing is like there's you know, real big emotions with all the especially Californians moving to Texas, right? I mean, you see T-shirts and bumper stickers and all sorts of stuff. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is they are also feeding into that media frenzy of like all these like liberal Californians moving to Texas, which don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them coming from because of work, you know, like they're not really choosing to come here. A lot of them are coming here for work or things like that. But, you know, I feel like I have met personally being here and also meeting other people from California. I have met way more conservatives from California coming here than I am liberals, you know. Now, I don't care what you vote for. You do you. Just let me be me, okay? Like, I'm not saying one side or the other. I'm not, like, trying to outcast nobody. You know, I respect everybody, and I, you know, value everyone's opinion. But, you know, it's like, it just kind of like, you know, we're not all trying to turn Texas blue. Like, a lot of us have come here to escape blue California.
Exactly.
Because we like red Texas, and we want to keep it red. Like,
there's a lot of people here. Yeah, and exactly. I've met a lot of people too that are from all over the country that have just moved here. You know, just like I did. We're newbies, right? We're newbies around here, and we talk about it. And it's like, yeah, we escaped the shit that we didn't want to be surrounded, but we want to live our lives. You know, we call ourselves the freedom refugees, because that's what it is, man. Yeah, but I love it here.
Oh, me too. And like you mentioned, there's so many great things, especially like from our perspective,
Buc-ee's.
being from Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, hey.
I remember doing my first time Buc-ee's. I was like, what the fuck is
It's
this
the
place?
cleanest bathrooms you'll ever see.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would eat a meal in there, dude.
Yeah, dude, they probably have a bathroom manager, dude, who like
It's like $90K a year, dude.
yeah.
Dude, I just remember like when that Buc-ee's came up, the one that is over by New Braunfels, is it was like I was hanging out with my dad or something because I was at their house, and he was like, man, a root beer slushy from Buc-ee's sounds real good right now. And I was like, yeah, man, that sounds real good. And he was like, I'm going. And he drove all the way to Buc-ee's to get a slushy.
Don't get me wrong. And
Dude,
the beaver nuggets.
Yeah,
Beaver
well,
nuggets.
beaver nuggets are great, but it's like, I mean, they come in a pack of 150, and then you'll eat the first 4, and you're like, okay, I've hit my sugar level for the day.
What does it say? Fresh brisket on the bar.
Yeah.
Right?
And the jerky.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
beef
yeah,
jerky
and
is
it's
fucking
badass,
amazing.
dude. They're like cooking.
If you guys don't know what Buc-ee's is, like, y'all gotta get out to a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
They have a dude or a woman. I don't know what they are, but they walk around in the big old Buc-ee's mascot costume, fucking taking pictures with people.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Does your gas station have a mascot?
Dude, I drove there just to try to get
Because
their
ours
holiday
does.
shirt. Like,
Oh,
for 4th
really?
of July, I was like, I gotta get me one of them Buc-ee's 4th of July shirts because they come out with the holiday themed shirts, like whenever holidays coming up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Brittany, I gotta go to Buc-ee's to try to get a shirt. I legit drove from here. It's a 30-minute drive, with some traffic. I drove all the way over there just to find out that they don't have my size anymore. Okay, I was too late.
Damn it.
So right now I'm like, in my mind, I'm already thinking I gotta go get that Halloween one because I got a Thanksgiving one already. Okay, it says thankful, blessed, and Buc-ee's obsessed. Okay,
Dang, okay.
but I gotta go get the Halloween one.
Dude, I just love
That's
it.
badass.
I love that the Buc-ee's like they do their own holiday.
Yeah,
shit.
and they're taking over, dude. They're opening a location up in Madison, Wisconsin, right outside of Madison, Wisconsin. So they're coming to a fucking city near you.
We're invading.
Yes.
Yeah, they are invading.
Now, the only thing that I will say that Texans will, like, I can't get aboard on board with it, and I know that I'll get some shit for it. Okay, and I accept that. But In-N-Out's better than Whataburger. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. It's just what I grew up with. It's preference. Okay,
Okay.
I respect y'all's opinion.
Yeah.
But to me, like, Whataburger is just like it's nothing special. Now, I do like it. I mean, I had it for lunch the other day. I was like, I'm gonna stop at Whataburger and get one of them jalapeno cheeseburgers.
Ooh.
It's good.
I'm a patty melt kind of guy.
I'm a patty melt kind of gal as well.
You're a patty melt whore.
All right, I'm a
Patty melt slut, baby.
Put that shit in my mouth and
That's
Dude,
funny.
that's
So what is I'd say, what is one of the biggest culture shocks? I'd say your top culture shock moving from California to Texas. What would you say it was?
Ooh, culture shock. Damn, that's a good one. There's what was it? I think I was just talking about before. Man, you go first, man. I'm trying to think.
I think for me, one of the biggest culture shocks is probably how nice everybody is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice people in Wisconsin, and
Very
the
true.
Midwest nice thing is a thing. But I feel like here is just, it's different, man. It's just way different. Like when we first visited, everybody was super friendly. We told them we were just visiting, and everybody's super friendly. And this was downtown San Antonio, one of the biggest, tourist destinations in Texas. Probably, the biggest tourist destination in Texas. So you'd think they'd be sick of all these tourists coming here, but no, dude. Everywhere we would go, they're just super nice, super friendly. And now that we live right outside of city limits, it's like times 10, right? That's probably one of the biggest things to get used to. On top of that, with saying yes sir, no ma'am, that's part of the culture here. You say it, and it's grown on me.
For sure.
I mean, in a great way, right? It's
Great way.
yeah. But
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I totally understand what you're saying, and like the no sir, no ma'am, like I always had that respect for like elders grandmothers and like my parents growing up, but we never did the no sir, no ma'am thing. But now it's like that's what I'm teaching my kids.
Yeah.
Like they refer to me as no sir, yes sir, and like to Brittany as like no ma'am, yes ma'am. And I'm like, that's not how I raised, but it's just like being here. I'm like, that's how I'm raising my kids because that's just how it is, I would say probably the biggest, I guess, culture shock would be like the obsession with like, well, two things. One, just that Texas pride, like it was instant in California. It's like being from California is cool. It's like, oh yeah, dude, I love California, dude. We got the like within 2 hours drive distance, I can go to the desert, the snow in the mountains, and the beach at within 2 hours of everything. It's like it's awesome. Or like like that Southern California culture is like, oh dude, like it's sweet, dude. It's mellow, it's chill, dude.
It's so rad, dude.
Yeah, that's right. We shred the gnar, dude. But like here, it's like it's like there wasn't that like California pride, where it's like here, it's like Texas pride. Like you are fucking proud to be from Texas.
And dude, and I've noticed that from like even like Hispanics or Mexicans that live here. You'd ask them, "Oh, are you Mexican?" "No, I'm Texan." That's right. It's like, oh, all right,
yeah,
okay.
Dude. I mean, dude, Texas is the greatest country on earth, brother. Yeah. I mean, most likely to secede, right? I want to get one of those hats that look like the Make America Great Again, but it says make Texas a country again. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. The way we're going, Yeah. But there's that. And then the other thing is just like to go along with the Texas, like being a proud Texan is also like the obsession and pride with things that are Texas, like H.E.B. Yeah. Like I didn't understand that. When people were like, oh, like we knew a lady who was actually from this area before we moved here. She's like, oh my gosh, you're going to love H.E.B. Oh my gosh, H.E.B. is just, it's the best. I miss it so much. And I'm like, what the fuck is H.E.B? And they're like, it's a grocery store. Like, it's like the best thing. Like, like Albertsons and stuff like is great, but like, H.E.B. is just, and I'm like,
what the hell?
A grocery store? Yeah. And you get here, and at first, like we were in New Braunfels, on the north side of New Braunfels, when we first moved here, and they had like a newer H.E.B. And I'm just like, it's a grocery store, I guess, dude. Like it's okay, like I get my food here, whatever. But dude, now, dude, I got an H.E.B debit card. Dude, we got the app, dude, and I'm like always looking out for the free meal deals, and it's like, dude, fucking I go back home, and I'm like, like when we visit our family, it's like, oh, we gotta go get something at
I know H.E.B.
It's like you gotta go back and it's like, oh, can you go to rent to the Albertsons and get this? Like, sure, but I'm thinking, I'm like, ain't no H.E.B though.
You're like, you're like, pussy, let me get some brisket queso and change your life.
Exactly, right?
Hell
Actually,
yeah, dude.
It's so interesting. I was just telling Brandon, we had at school, we had like a nacho bar, like little thing, right? Like on Friday, where it's like, everyone just like pitched in something, and all the staff came up and during lunch got the nacho bar. And one of the things that everyone made, like so many people make queso, but they all had like their own recipe, like meat queso or like this with cream cheese in it and all this stuff. And I told Brittany, I was like, before we moved here, dude, I might have heard the term queso, but I didn't really it's not a thing in California. Queso's not a thing. But out here, it's like fucking queso is the shit, and everybody has their own like their own version of it, like their own recipe for queso. And I'm like that, and so that's like another thing I just thought of, it was like fucking queso, dude. Especially that brisket queso at H.E.B. There are some things where I'm like sometimes I'm like, what should I have for dinner? And then we go to H.E.B. and I'm like, damn, that brisket queso looks good.
Yeah, or you just like cruise past where they have like all the pre-made meals.
Yeah.
And then there's just the guy who's just casually just slow cooking turkey legs.
Yeah.
Just like, howdy.
Yeah.
So from a local's perspective, right? Somebody
do you mind having us here?
Day one.
Born and raised here in Texas.
That's it, brother.
What's your feeling towards outsiders coming into Texas?
People like us.
People like us.
Tell us how you really feel.
I think Texas is the best. First of all,
it's the best.
It's number one. I think that Texas is the best because one, we're just welcoming, and it's like I love it when new people come. What it gets to be kind of shitty is when new people come, and it's not even just like from California. People will come and they'll just see the way things are and they'll just be like, this is dumb. And it's like,
I hate that.
all right, and that's where I think you can kind of get people that are like, dude, why does everybody love it here? Why does everyone love the Alamo? And it's like, pussy. It's fucking history.
Right.
I mean, we even learned about the Alamo in history, like.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about it.
I don't know. I love it. One of the things I thought that was I was thinking about it when we all were kind of going back and forth about people coming and moving. When I went and got my concealed handgun license, I was sitting in there and, they're asking a couple questions all around the room. And the instructor was kind of just like, hey, who here's a transplant? And nobody said anything. He goes, okay, who here's from California? And so one dude put his hand up. And, of course, as soon as he puts his hands up, everyone,
Dude, I say that now. Like, when we have, like, trainings or something, people are like, anybody from out of state? And someone's like, I moved here from California. I'm like, boo.
That's funny.
But, yeah, so this guy's, like, getting like, boo, fuck this guy. And so he's like, yeah. He goes, I know. I'm sorry. He goes, I'm here from California. I know everybody here carries. I want to learn more, and I want to be responsible if I do carry. And then of course everyone's like, "Shit, fuck, okay,
hell yeah, all right."
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too. California, like that was another like, not so much like maybe a culture shock because like I'm used to being around firearms, being like from my dad was Marines, sheriff officer, sheriff deputy, and then my father-in-law. Law enforcement as well, so it's like I'm not afraid of firearms. I've grown up around them, but I remember I got my first like rifle out in California. And, you had to take a test to show that you knew like basic gun safety, and then you purchased the gun, and then you have to come back in 10 days to pick it up. They have a 10-day waiting period. Whereas like out here, dude, I was over at Academy when I got my Glock, and I was like, went in there, filled out the little background check form, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna run this, just hang tight here. Like 30 minutes later, they're like, all right, let's take you up to the front counter. I'm like, shit.
You're walking out to your car. Hell yeah, baby.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was.
You mean I can just I want to get my license, my concealed carry license, because I know there's some places like H.E.B. you can't conceal. You're not supposed to conceal carry unless you have a license, right? And it's also just it helps you like legally, you're more legally defensible should shit go down.
Yeah.
But it's like I remember like the few times that I have carried, I'm like, dude, in California this is just straight up illegal.
Yeah.
Unless you're an officer like my father-in-law does, but he's an officer, So it's like, dude, if I'm doing this in California, I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
But like out here, I'm free. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude, I 100% agree.